Good morning, all. Welcome to this session for upgrade extension. How we can upgrade during through a real code. So um, I'm going to start a demo how to write a code to upgrade the extension. So what is the upgrade extension? Upgrade extension is we can have an idea like let's suppose we have developed an extension before for one of the customer like suppose for example a table. So we had created, the 5 or 6 fields into that table, right? And we had deployed this extension into the live environment and the sandbox as well. So, but after a few days, a few months, or whenever the customer feels that they required uh, new functionality into that extension, so in that case, what we do actually? So we do normally upgrade the version of that extension and you know uh, introduce some new fields or remove some some old fields altogether, and then we deployed it back. So in that case we have, the difficulties we can face. The difficulty is we are removing those old new field which has already a data, so it might be possible that the data could be lost, right? So in that case, Microsoft suggests that we should always, upgrade that old extension if we are trying to delete the old fields from the table, or if we are trying to delete all tables. So retain those data first during the upgrade and move those data into the new fields which we are, introducing with the new functionality with that same extension, right? So let me show you a demo how we can achieve these things. So it is very beneficial for us if we are, facing these difficulties in our, all our customers. So how we can do that? So I'm just going to use, for this demo the Nexon Dev IP Sandbox environment, and I'll show you how we will initially create an extension and then how we can upgrade those old extensions. Right, so we start. So for this, I'm just going to create a new uh, extension so that you can understand what I mean to say, how we can upgrade. So you will know how we start the air coding. So I'm just going to use that there is nothing new. Yes, so now let me know if you can see my screen clearly or if I can make it big. That is good.
No, we are not able to see the screen.
Okay, 1 second. I think I not shared the screen. 1 second. Now you are now you can see the screen.
Yes, yes.
So this is the simple way how we can start the AL coding. So I'm just creating a new extension here, right? So for that, I'm just putting anything in the publisher. So you can use what now you are using into your daily work, right? So this is what I did. I just only created a new extension with a dummy AL file, right? And since I have already used this version range to the old extender, so I'm just going to create a new one. Okay, that's it. Now, so what I'm going to try to tell you that I'm just going to create a one table, simple table and one page. I'll put the data into that table, and then later on during the upgrade, I'll show you if I delete the uh, old fields from this extension, then how I will retain this data to the new fields. Okay. So first of all, I create a new table. It can be anything. Um, I'm going to create any fields. Distribution. So this is my table is ready to enter the data into this table. So to enter the data, I'll create a page to show you how I have entered. So I'll take a new page. It can be page source table, my table. Could be a list. Okay. So you see what I did? I create one dummy table and one dummy page to show you how we will, put the data, and later on during the upgrade, if I remove anything, so what would happen? Okay, so this is the table and page created. Now I'll try to put data into the table. So for that, I'll create an install coordinate. So you all know that how we use the installation coordinate. If no, so I'll share a link to so that you can check how to use the installation coordinate. So next one it can be there is no source table. Okay. So for each coordinate, if we are creating the AL coding, so it has a property subtype. So in the subtype, we can define which type of coordinate we are going to use. So right now, it is going to be used as an installation coordinate, right? I'm going to use this installation coordinate to insert my dummy table data. So for this, I'll use trigger on installation per company. So you see in this coordinate, if we are using the subtype as install, it has two types of trigger. One is the on install per company, and one is the on install per database. And you know the on run, right? So I'm not talking about the on run. So for installation per company means uh, if you have many, there's many companies in a single database, so you can decide in which company it is going to be insert the data. So in my case, I'm going to use the insert per company. But if you talk about the on installation app or database trigger, it will it will understand that you are going to insert the data into this table throughout all the company, right? So in my case, I'm going to use this trigger. Okay, so it's better to create information. Since I have only two fields, so I am sending those two fields data through the parameters. Statement, text. Let me see what range 30. Okay, so I'll call this function to this trigger so that it can install and I'll put the data. I will use the same. That's the new data. Anything the entry number. Okay. So you understand what I did? I created a function to insert the data, and I'm calling this function on my own installation point company trigger, right? Let me see. All the things all together. So main thing, well, the main thing is uh, remember whenever you are going to upgrade, the thing is if you are going to upgrade any extension, so you need to have very remember this carefully, this version number, so the syntax we have, this syntax 1.00. So all of these points has all their own meanings, right? So let me tell you, the first version number denotes this is the major number. The second one is denotes two. This is the minor one, and the third one denotes two. This is the build number, and the fourth one you generally uh, change this version whenever you deploy some new changes. So this is the revision numbers, right? So this is the syntax Microsoft suggests this X, Y, U, Z, right? So this is version is very important to take care whenever you are going to upgrade at an extension, right? So what I did, let me go back and tell you. I created a new table. I created a new dummy page, and then I have created a installation coordinate which will insert the data into this table, and it will show you the page. Let me create two reports. So now it's the time to publish this change. So this is the first extension. You can see my version number is 1. This is the major version I'm just taking right now. I'm not taking any other build, any other revision version, like we generally do in our daily routines. So this is done. Now it's the time to create a launch file. First of all, let me download the symbols. It would be Windows IP 324. Select now. Right again. It will ask me to authenticate. Okay. It is already there with my ID, so it is not required to put the credentials. Let's see this. So, the next thing that then okay. So all the reference symbols have been downloaded now. So now it's time to publish. Let's compile first. There is no compilation error. So there is no compilation error, and this is already package being created. Now it's time to move to the sandbox and publishing. Let me see what was the page name. It's on the page. Okay, so it is been success. Go back to refresh. Okay, so let me find out my page. Okay, this is there. Okay, you see, I have created two records with the help of this installation coordinate, and the data is there. So this is the generally routines we do for each and every client. We create tables, we create page, we create units, and many more, right? So now the part come upgrade. How we can upgrade this? So let's suppose we have installed and published this extension to our to our client in the live environment. Now the question comes, user is saying that we don't need the description right now. Instead, we need a Boolean field or whatever the extra field he require, or a block field, whatever. So he do not the user don't require the description field. So he want the new field which can be a blob or anything. So for example, I'm taking a new field to introduce in the table, and I'll show you how we can get rid of this old field and how we can retain the data of this old field to the new field. So for example, I'm taking a new field which is going to be a text again, so that I can show you how we can retain the data. So I'm just going to take a name, new description. It would be a text, but the larger width distance. Okay. New description. Okay. So now this is the new field we have, introduced. But the question is how we can retain the data and how we can remove this old field. Okay. So after creating a new field, go back to the old field, and each field has their own property. If you see, obsolete, right? So we have three properties for each field. What is the obsolete reason? It is the open text field and text property. This is the obsolete state. This is the option type property, and this is the obsolete tag. This is again open text, property. It can have both this reason and tag can have the string type of values. So right now we need to decide what kind of state we want to give to this description field. So I will choose obsolete state, and you will see there is a removed, right? There's a remove property by defining through this tag. I will show you. Again, I can choose a tag, what tagging you want to give, right? So it can be anything for you. In my case, I'm going to write like this field is not required in new chapter 2.0. Right now we are working on the 1.0.0.0, right? So you can put anything you want. I'm just putting the date. Okay. If you want to give the more information as well, you can choose the obsolete reason as well. Okay. So after defining this obsolete state removed, it means if you will publish the new version, this version, it will be removed automatically. But before that, we want to retain the data of this field, of this old field to the new field. How we'll do that? So you will see, as soon as we have marked this field as obsolete, the system is giving me error wherever I use that field. So in my case, I use this field into this page, and it is showing me, you can see field description is removed. The tag field is not required. This is my tag. I put it into that field, right? So what I'll do right now, I will replace this field to my new description field. Okay, so this is how we are showing our new field to this old page. Okay, so now this part is complete. We had marked the obsolete fields. We have introduced the new fields. Now time comes to retain the data. So for this, we will create another coordinate which will have a property of subtype upgrade. Table. So you can subtype upgrade. Okay. So now this upgrade CU has a multiple triggers like you can see. Again, we have this trigger on check precondition for company, on check precondition for database. These two triggers are always used if you want to, check before upgrading if your version is correct, if your tag is correct, anything if you want to do that before upgrade, right? These are preconditions. And the other triggers we have the on upgrade per company. This is the similar for the per company or the per database through trigger. And the last two triggers is validating. If your data has been upgraded properly, then you can use this validate upgrade per company and upgrade per database. So right now, I'm going to use my trigger on upgrade per company to show you how we will upgrade the data. So now what I'll do for this, I will create some system variables. So we also have some, subsystem variable as well. Like in this case, we have add current module info. What it does? It actually, you know, get your current version of your app, which is already been defined in the app JSON file. It can have your version number. So, and it again give this all this information to this module variable we had created here, right? So now we will understand how this module we can understand this module which version we are using. So in my case, I will use some logic so that I can understand in which version I need to upgrade and in which version I do not want to upgrade the data. So I will use module. Okay, so app version. I will use my logic here. App version equal to not equal to. I have another, like I told you before, we have a syntax for this app JSON file to build major, minor division. For my upgrading purpose, I am going to use my major version. Okay, so I will put here like this 2. If it is 2, then what it should be. If it is 2, then it should get the data from all the fields and put into the new field. So for that, what I'll do, I'll put the logic. Okay, so the logic is simple as you know and assign the data to any other fields. In that case, I will put a new description field, and for testing purpose, I can use new so that you understand how to put it. I will take the data from old field. You see now? You see also earlier in your, the extension you worked on, the standard, it strike through all the old fields which are not in use and which are going to be useless in the next version. So in this case, this is happening due to obsolete marking we have done. So I'll use this one now, description, and if I for each report loop through with this help of repeat and until. So you understand now? We use nav app get current module info. It will give the current version number to this module variable, and then we will use this module app version. In my case, I'm using the major one, and I'll check the 2. So now the question is, where is the 2? We are using the 1 only, right? So you remember already, whenever you create and you introduce new functionality in your old extension, you always revise this revision tag. So in my case, I'm going to revise this major tag. Okay, so now it will check if we have a major tag 2, then my code should work, right? During the upgrade process. This is only the trigger I'm using to upgrade the data for the single company I'm working on. Right now, for this installation code, I do not want to insert the report every time I install, in this extension. So what I can do, I can also bind the logic so that it does not every time insert the data. So what I can do, I can take nav info, take current module info. If this major function belongs to one tag, then it should always insert this data, otherwise no, right? So in this case, it will only runs once run, not the second time, because I have changed the major tag here too. And this is my upgrade data. You can see it again. I'm going to insert the data if my app belongs to the major tag 2, right? Remember one thing, before publishing this upgrade coordinate or upgrade logic, if you are mentioning your app version major, it will only work once. If you again want to second time due to any problem or any logic change, so you need to change every time this major function, major tag. Okay, so be careful whenever you are going to use your upgrade tutorial with the specific version or specific tag. Okay, so this is completed now. This is the installation code. This is the upgrade. Now we'll try to make a package, and we'll check if there is any error during the upgrade. So see again what I did in my old page. I removed the old field, which was the description, and I have introduced a new field in place of that, the new description. And this is the upgrade field. I am putting all the old data to the new field. Now publish it, and we'll see if the new field has the new data. This is the upgraded version has been created a packet with the new version 2 new tag. Okay, so I will find my page that was Nexon dummy page. Okay, you see what happened? The old page, which was which had the new old field here, it been replaced with the new field, but and with the old data, right? So this is how we already had upgraded our old extension with the new version of extension with the removing of the fields or introduce the new fields. This is the whole process to upgrade our old extension. So if you want, you can try the other version and other triggers as well, how they should work and what is the use of this. Okay? So it depends on what kind of upgradation you are doing. Right. So thank you so much. This was the demo. If you have any question, you can ask anyone.
Hi Nitin. So if we install this extension every time, then this code will run every time in that company, right?
Yeah.
So suppose we want to restrict that this should, if we are installing for the first time, then it should copy that field data to another field, new field data, new description. And we want to install, if we are installing it for second time, then it should not copy the data. So can we restrict it to that?
No, like
Okay.
what I said to you, if you are going to upgrade your old version to the new version, so in that case, you mark those fields as obsolete, right? And once you upgrade this coordinate or this logic, so it will remove automatically this field from the table. Now,
Okay.
the question is, if we are trying to publish it again, it will give you an error that this field is no more, because this has already been removed and the data have already been copied.
Okay.
Okay, so this is very much be careful when you are trying to upgrade with your version and tags. Okay.
Hi, Nathan.
Yeah.
This is not required every time to insert the data through the installation code unit, right? We can insert it from the pages also.
Yeah, definitely you can do that. But for the demo purpose, what I did, I just created an installation code and insert the data.
Okay. And one more question, like where have you called the upgrade code unit?
Where I have created the code unit, it will upgrade it automatically whenever you are using this trigger. One upgrade per company whenever you publish this extension.
Yeah, so I just published this extension and it will automatically trigger this event.
Right.
Okay. In case of every publish, okay.
Yeah.
And it will do only in case of publish. It will not do in case of installation, isn't it?
Yeah. Only in case of publishing, when you are publishing the first time.
No, so if I want to upgrade my data in the production environment, then I do not have the publish thing, right? I cannot publish in production. So in that case.
No, you always publish and install the extensions by using your.
The publishing means, Niket, it's just publishing means it's not from code directly. You just need to install. So installation will be publishing and doing the installation of extension.
Right. Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, it's not the
Publishing means
from the VS Code.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. No. If you are going with the production environment and trying to install this extension, so it means you already calling this installation coordinate the subtypes upgrade as well.
Right. Got it. Understood.
And it depends on version, as Nitin told that if it is a 1.000 and you are installing, it won't work. That upgrade should version should be increased like 1.0.0.1 and then it will work.
Okay. Got it.
Any other question? Anyone? Okay. So no problem. If you have any other question, then you can ping me over chat and I'll be happy to answer you. And I'll share you the link how you can find more to use the upgrade extensions. Okay, so
That's good, Nitin. Thank you. Very nice.
thank you so much. Yeah. So thank you so much,
Nitin.
everyone. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye.
Thanks, Nitin. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.